Welcome back to the Real Story channel. A skilled fisherman named Chukwima resided on the banks of the winding Amono River. He had earned a reputation in the village for his exceptional fishing abilities, always returning from the river with an abundant catch to provide for his family and sell at the morning market. As the sun rose over the lush green hills, Chuka would prepare himself by taking hold of his fishing spear and net, bidding farewell to his mother, Neka, and embarking on the familiar path to his favorite fishing spot by the riverside. With an intimate knowledge of every twist and turn of the river, he knew exactly where to find catfish and tilapia among the rocks and fallen trees. On a sunny morning like any other, Chuka found himself engrossed by a captivating scene while engaged in his usual fishing routine. He noticed a beautiful woman bathing alone in the shimmering river. Her stunning appearance left him mesmerized. Her smooth, glowing brown skin and long, flowing black hair seemed to gracefully float on the river's surface. Concealing himself behind a rock, Chuka quietly observed her, careful not to disturb her peacefulness. The mysterious woman began to sing, her voice possessing an enchanting allure that surpassed anything he had ever heard. Chuka became spellbound, unable to move as he absorbed the captivating melodies. As she finished her song, she turned and caught sight of Chuka watching her. Rather than showing displeasure at his presence, she simply greeted him with a bright smile that set his heart racing. "Good morning, fisherman," she warmly greeted him. "My name is Kaioma. What brings you to my river today?" Her words carried a gentle tone. "I am Chuka, the village fisherman," he nervously replied. "I come here to fish every morning. Please forgive me, I did not intend to intrude upon your bathing." "No need to apologize," Kaioma reassured him. "Come, sit with me. This river has brought us together." From that day onward, Chuka would meet with the mysterious Kaioma by the riverside whenever he could slip away from his duties. Over time, he found himself deeply enamored by her beauty, her voice, and her kind-hearted nature. She reciprocated his love wholeheartedly. However, Chuka's mother, Neka, grew suspicious of his frequent solitary outings. "Why do you rush off alone so often, instead of taking your brother fishing with you?" she questioned. Chuka pretended not to hear her, hastening his departure to meet his secret love. One afternoon, beneath their cherished shade tree, Chuka turned to Choma, his beloved, and asked hopefully, "Will you marry me?" Kay's eyes sparkled with joy as she replied, "Nothing would make me happier than to be your wife." The couple joyfully shared the news with the villagers, who rejoiced in their happiness. However, Neka, Chuka's mother, remained cautious about the sudden appearance of Choma, who seemed to have emerged out of nowhere. The night before the wedding, Neka secretly followed her son through the moonlit forest to the river. To her horror, she witnessed Chuka embracing the beautiful Kaioma. But instead of legs, Kaioma possessed the tail of a great fish. Shocked and frightened, Neka shrieked at the sight of the river witch. Chuka turned and cried, "Mother, what are you doing here? How dare you follow me?" However, the river witch screeched loudly, her once pretty face now twisted with rage. Dark clouds rolled across the night sky, and lightning struck dangerously close to the shore. In the water, Choma hissed at Chuka, circling him with anger. "You told me you had no woman. Now I will ensure no woman will ever have you." The river witch seized Chuka with her powerful tail and plunged him into the deep waters. He struggled against her mighty strength to no avail, until his movements slowed and he drifted lifelessly in her grip. Neka wailed in anguish at the terrible sight, begging the witch to release her only son. But her pleas went unanswered. Choma dove deeper into the river, never to be seen again, taking Chuka's lifeless body with her. Gutted with grief and anger towards the evil witch who had taken her beloved son, Neka returned to the village. She warned anyone who would listen never to trust a beautiful maiden seen bathing alone in the river, lest they become the next victims caught in her deadly embrace. From that point on, the villagers feared the winding river and the vengeful mermaid that guarded it. Some claimed to occasionally hear her eerie singing from the shore late at night. Others adamantly refused to venture near the waters again, but as the fish supply grew scarce, the fishermen were compelled to return, despite their unease. Years later, two young brothers named Ikena and Ian pleaded with their widowed mother, Ona, to allow them to follow in their late father's footsteps as fishermen. Ona hesitated, but she couldn't deny the village's desperate need for food. The boys proved themselves to be skilled fishermen, much like their father. Joy filled Ona's heart as she watched her two sons return home with abundant catches. However, one fateful night, only Ian returned. When questioned about Ian's whereabouts, his face turned pale as he recounted seeing a beautiful maiden singing from the safety of the shore. Curiosity got the better of his brother, who swam out for a closer look and was immediately pulled into the turbulent waters by a powerful force. Ona crumbled to the ground, consumed by anguish, as she realized that the river witch had claimed yet another of her loved ones. She warned the villagers to burn the creature if they ever caught her, but the river remained as treacherous as ever. Many more lives were lost in the following years. Then, a young fisherman named Obi emerged, the most audacious villager of all. He rowed his canoe daily to the very spot rumored to be the witch's abode, attempting to dredge up her bones and bring an end to the misery. However, each time he approached the entrance to the lagoon, ominous clouds gathered, and frigid winds pushed his canoe back towards the land. Exhausted and frustrated after years of unsuccessful attempts, Obi abandoned his quest. Instead, he married a woman from the riverfront named Andy and fathered twin boys who grew up to be strong. From a young age, he trained them to handle oars and nets. By the time they reached 16, EA and AA had become renowned fishermen, earning more than anyone else in the village. Despite the lingering fear that gripped most villagers, they remained undeterred from their encounters with the river. The courageous twins sold fish that nourished the entire village. Their exceptional skills and bravery allowed everyone to thrive, gradually weakening the grip of fear. However, one morning, only Aka returned from the river, claiming that his twin brother had fallen overboard. But the tear-filled eyes of the remaining twin told a different story to Ona. The river witch had struck once again. Enraged by this tragedy, Obi and his son rallied the men and elders of the village, declaring that they must defeat this demon once and for all before she claimed any more sons. Fueled by anger and grief, the men gathered axes, hooks, and spears, and even young Annie grabbed a fishing knife, determined to avenge his brother. Under Obi's leadership, the band of warriors marched to the rushing river on a mission to find and destroy the witch. As their boats ventured into deeper waters, the sky darkened ominously, and a sinister wind rocked the boats. Yet, Obi pressed on toward the heart of the river. Suddenly, the river erupted with a fearsome screech as the witch burst from below, snatching men and pulling them into her monstrous embrace. Boats overturned, and bodies were flung through the air by her powerful wrath. However, young Aina stood his ground, refusing to flee. As the witch swam towards Obi, ready to drown him next, Akin drove his knife deep into her back, causing her agony. Obi lunged forward and finished her off with his spear. The dark clouds dissipated as quickly as they had appeared. The men stared in weary shock as the lifeless body of the witch drifted down towards the riverbed, never to terrorize their village again. At long last, the curse was over. Ona wept with awe and relief by the riverbank as Akina and Obi returned victorious, the witch gone. Fish overflowed once more, and the villagers feasted and cheered their heroes. For generations to come, the beautiful river flowed peacefully, posing no further threat to young lovers. Thank you for watching. See you in the next updated videos.